Sponsored by Regeneron and Sanofi.
My name is Britt. I'm a proud mom of 3. Our oldest son is Noah. He's 13 and he has EoE. Noah was diagnosed with EoE when he was 11 months old. I suspected something was wrong because he spit up after every meal. He was fussy a lot, he cried. He had difficulty eating foods. He would refuse certain foods. He would have reactions to certain foods that he ate. I could tell that Noah was very uncomfortable. It seemed like he was having trouble swallowing. I wanted to figure out what was going on. I was very determined to get answers. Noah's primary care doctor thought that there might be an issue with his intestines. So he sent us to a pediatric gastroenterologist or a GI doctor. The pediatric GI went ahead and did an upper endoscopy or an EGD, and Noah was diagnosed with eosinophilic esophagitis. Eosinophils indicated that there was inflammation in his esophagus that was causing his symptoms. I'm very happy that we went and saw a pediatric gastroenterologist because a GI doctor is the only one who can diagnose EoE. At that time, there were no FDA-approved treatments for EoE, so that was hard. Noah had to take prescription steroid medication every day, and he would also take a PPI daily. You know, his symptoms would get under control for a while, and then his symptoms would just reemerge after a bit, and we would have to just keep going back to the doctor. And it was just kind of a game where we'd have to readjust his medicine every year or two, and it became frustrating for him, I could tell. When Noah was older, we went to a school function, and there was a table full of food, and his friends were there. I remember just my heart breaking for him as he stood there, because he knew that he was having trouble swallowing, and he couldn't eat any of that food. I felt very sad for him. I still remember that feeling to this day. So I did a lot of research about EoE, and I eventually came across DUPIXENT. When I discussed it with his pediatric GI, he gave me a lot of information about it, and I thought it might be a good fit for Noah. Before Noah started DUPIXENT, I told his doctor about all the medical conditions he had and medications he was taking.
Make sure you talk to your doctor about the potential benefits and risks of treatment, including the most common side effects, such as injection site reactions, and some serious side effects, such as allergic reactions, including skin reactions that can sometimes be severe, and joint aches and pain.
Our GI doctor prescribed DUPIXENT for Noah. That was the most hope I'd ever felt with this disease. At that point, we had been dealing with this for 12 years. I finally felt that maybe something can help him. Noah had an endoscopy 6 months after he started treatment. His GI doctor said that his eosinophils were reduced. That was amazing for us. That's something I thought I'd never hear. Over time, Noah was able to swallow easier. He didn't complain as much during mealtime. Of course, this is just Noah's experience. Everybody's experience with DUPIXENT will be different. So now that Noah's on DUPIXENT, he has better control over his EoE. Noah's looking forward to high school and hanging out with his friends at the lunch table without having as much trouble swallowing when he's eating or drinking. I feel very grateful that we were able to get referred to a pediatric GI early on. It means the world to me that we found DUPIXENT. I thought Noah would have to live with uncontrolled EoE symptoms forever. As a mom, I just love seeing Noah in a great place moving forward. It just means everything to me.
Important safety information. Do not use if you are allergic to dupilumab or to any of the ingredients in DUPIXENT. Before using DUPIXENT, tell your healthcare provider about all your medical conditions, including if you have a parasitic Helminth infection, are scheduled to receive any vaccinations. You should not receive a live vaccine right before and during treatment with DUPIXENT. Are pregnant or plan to become pregnant. It is not known whether DUPIXENT will harm your unborn baby. A pregnancy registry for women who take DUPIXENT during pregnancy collects information about the health of you and your baby. are breastfeeding or plan to breastfeed. It is not known whether DUPIXENT passes into your breast milk. Tell your healthcare provider about all the medicines you take, including prescription and over-the-counter medicines, vitamins, and herbal supplements. Especially tell your healthcare provider if you are taking oral, topical, or inhaled corticosteroid medicines, or if you have EoE and asthma and use an asthma medicine. Do not change or stop your other medicines, including corticosteroid medicine or other asthma medicine, without talking to your healthcare provider. This may cause other symptoms that were controlled by those medicines to come back. DUPIXENT can cause serious side effects, including allergic reactions. DUPIXENT can cause allergic reactions, including skin reactions, that can sometimes be severe. Stop using DUPIXENT and tell your healthcare provider or get emergency help right away if you get any of the following signs or symptoms: breathing problems or wheezing, swelling of the face, lips, mouth, tongue, or throat, fainting, dizziness, feeling lightheaded, fast pulse, fever, hives, skin rash, including rash that looks like a bullseye, or painful red or blue bumps under the skin, general ill feeling, itching, swollen lymph nodes, nausea or vomiting, joint pain, or cramps in your stomach area. Joint aches and pain. Some people who use DUPIXENT have had trouble walking or moving due to their joint symptoms, and in some cases needed to be hospitalized. Tell your healthcare provider about any new or worsening joint symptoms. Your healthcare provider may stop DUPIXENT if you develop joint symptoms. The most common side effects in patients with EoE include injection site reactions, upper respiratory tract infections, cold sores in your mouth or on your lips, and joint pain, arthralgia. Tell your healthcare provider if you have any side effect that bothers you or that does not go away. These are not all the possible side effects of DUPIXENT. Call your doctor for medical advice about side effects. You are encouraged to report negative side effects of prescription drugs to the FDA. Visit www.fda.gov/medwatch or call 1-800-FDA-1088. Use DUPIXENT exactly as prescribed by your healthcare provider. It's an injection given under the skin, subcutaneous injection. Your healthcare provider will decide if you or your caregiver can inject DUPIXENT. Do not try to prepare and inject DUPIXENT until you or your caregiver have been trained by your healthcare provider. In children 12 years of age and older, it's recommended DUPIXENT be administered by or under supervision of an adult. In children 1 to less than 12 years of age, DUPIXENT should be given by a caregiver. Please see accompanying full prescribing information, including patient information.